Mop-up operations are underway and businesses are counting their losses in Vosloorus on the East Rand. Manqoba Mchunu, eNCA reporter, tracking that story for us. Manqoba, good afternoon. You find yourself at the Chris Hani Mall in Vosloorus, where a few days ago we also saw looting taking place there. What's the latest? What's happening today?
Well, certainly, Patan, what we're seeing this morning here at the Chris Hani Mall is more of mop-up operations by some of the community members. Of course, you remember, Patan, that this is one of the malls that was severely affected in this particular community. In fact, even as far as yesterday, we did see some of the residents still trying to make their way inside this mall to try and perhaps get some of the equipment from these particular shops. It is quite a big mall, Patan, I must say. That has relatively over, I would say, more than 20 shops in this particular area. But I can tell you, Patan, that just looking at the destruction, in fact, I'm going to step out of shot just to show you, Patan, the extent of the damage inside this particular mall. You can see there's debris lying everywhere around here, which tells you really just the extent of the looting and destruction that went on in this particular place. And Patan, I'm just going to move towards this side just to show you more destruction that has happened here. You can see here some of the machinery from some of these shops. We do understand that furniture shops were broken into, food shops were broken into, as well as computer shops, and really also the or the big retail stores. We talk of your Pick and Pays that were also broken into by some of the residents here who were on a looting spree here. And you recall, Patan, that yesterday we saw also members of the local taxi association coming on board, really trying their best to also, fend off the looters that are here. You can see some of the businesses here, but then still trying to salvage the little that's left inside. But I can tell you, but then it is really a scene of devastation. Many shops here have been totally obliterated. There is nothing left, and really businesses this morning are counting their losses. You see there, one of the shops, but then nothing is left inside there, not even the cash register inside that particular shop. That tells you exactly just the amount of destruction that has gone on here in this particular mall. If you look this side, on the right-hand side, the banks here, this is Standard Bank as well as FNB, have totally been broken into. The ATMs have been broken into. So it really tells you the amount of violence that went on in this particular mall. In fact, but then even this morning, we did see some of the community members that were cleaning here, trying to perhaps, help in the cleanup process, the mop-up operations here. But I can tell you, Patan, within those community members that we saw here this morning, we also saw some of them that were still attempting to loot, that were still attempting to perhaps salvage some of the foodstuffs that are in these shops and put them in plastics and perhaps take them for themselves. This, of course, was quelled by the police who are here. We've also seen members of the Defence Force now being here guarding this particular mall, as well as the local taxi operators who still are remaining here to ensure that the looting doesn't continue here. But I just want to go and quickly speak to one of the businessman here in this particular mall, just to perhaps get a sense of how it is that they're going to cope following the damage that's been caused to their business. I'm talking here to Babu Isaac Mchali, who is one of the businessmen here. He owns one of the businesses. I do understand that it's a computer or internet cafe in this particular store. Babu Mchali, just looking at the damage here, I can certainly see that, rebuilding is not going to be easy. First of all, how do you feel about what has happened here? What has exactly been taken from your shop?
It's very, very bad. All the computers, you see this shop, we had about 18 computers here. They're all gone. The printers, we had 3 printers. They're gone. The other one is lying outside. They're broken. They took even the Coca-Cola fridge. I don't know what are they going to do with the Coca-Cola fridge. It's missing. The routers, even you see, this is a aircon. They tried to strip it off. For what reason? Nobody knows. Unfortunately, people who are working in this shop today, they are jobless. They are calling me every day trying to find out to say, what is the plan? I don't know. As it is, I'm stuck.
And tell me, Baba, I mean, obviously it must be painful. I do understand that you've been here since 2010 in this particular community, having a business here. What's the plan, Baba? How are you going to survive?
Truly speaking, I don't know. I really don't know. I still need to sit down, make a plan, maybe try and apply for funding. But as I'm saying, I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
And Baba, in terms of, I mean, there were, police reaction. What did you make of it? I remember speaking to you earlier on, you saying that, you were very disappointed by the response of the police. There were no police at all when this particular mall was being looted. I mean, surely that's upsetting for you.
It's very upsetting because, you see, the problem is when the situation is bad, you expect the law enforcement to help. But if they are nowhere to be found, it makes things even worse. All right, we understand the police, the capacity is not enough, but then I think the government should have made a plan to protect some of the buildings, because Chris Hani Mall was the last mall to be targeted, because they started on the other malls. The first mall which they targeted was Naledi Mall. It was No. Here in Vosloorus, they started at Lisedi, they moved to Naledi Mall, they went to a place called they went to a place called we normally call it JT. Then they went to Gold Sport. Now by then the law enforcement people should have been aware that the last target was going to be this one, because this is the biggest mall in Vosloorus. That is why we were expecting the law enforcement to be here on time, because they came here several times. Even yesterday, people were making sure that they're able to come here, meaning there was still staff left here. If there was enough police here, this mall would have been saved. Not 100%, but I think 75% of the shops would have been saved if we have enough law enforcement people.
Thank you, Baba Mchali, for speaking to us. Of course, but I'm just going to
thank you, Manqoba. We're going to have to leave it there as you end there. We understand the